Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm sorry about that. I can't help it. That's how life goes. The culture of mediocrity. That's what we're living through, man. Lies, cheating, and whatever else people do, man. I don't know what else they do, right? We're going to go down Whacker. We're here. This is Michigan and Whacker right now. That's what you're looking at. That's what you're looking at. We'll park over here, right? And you can see there's no traffic here, right? There's zero traffic. You don't have jamming devices here in Chicago, right? I learned that years ago during the NATO protests. What's up, Mizidor? Sorry it got cut off. I just posted a video about it. I don't know why it got cut off. It is what it is, and we're just gonna keep moving on. There. Yeah, I was kept going, but that's how life goes, man. I have no idea. I just made a video, but I don't know how I'm in the middle. You know what? It's funny. The people who lie about Chicago and why it's empty, they also lie about the internet. They say, oh, there's too many buildings around. That's why you lose feed. And I'm like, wait, if you're a city and you're like a big city, why would you lose the feed? That doesn't even make sense. Because they're so used to lying, right? That's what people do nowadays. All people do now is just straight out lie, right? They just make up whatever it is to cover up for people, right? It's like we just talked, it's like we just talked about the war, right? All you had to do is do simple logic. Use your brain. See us, what do they call us? The boomers, right? Don't they call us the boomers? See, we learned mathematics, right? We learned logic. We learned all of that stuff. We learned history, right? And you learn things. Those of us who have families, you learn planning. Well, if I want to have a nice Thanksgiving, do I go buy the turkey Thursday morning, or do I buy a turkey a few days before? Do I buy my other things? If I want, look, it's like when I was talking about Valentine's Day. Remember Valentine's Day? I said, it's empty on Michigan Avenue. People say, oh, you're stupid. It's not Valentine's. I said, really? So if you want a diamond ring, you go there on Valentine's Day and buy a diamond ring? No, a diamond ring, somebody who's ever bought a diamond ring knows what it means. You got to go 2-3 times. And you got to go ahead of time. If you want a real diamond ring, not a fake one from Walmart, you kind of get where I'm going with this? Yeah, censorship. That's what I'm talking about. It's censorship. They control the internet. They control the TV. They control the news. They control all of that stuff, right? And you know, it is what it is. That's what we're living in. But in the end, it doesn't really matter, because we got to keep moving on. You know what I mean? That's what I want to say here, right? If we concentrate on the negative stuff, look, let me show you this. So I'm on Whacker. That's Wabash over there, right? That's Wabash. That's Michigan Avenue. It's 4:31. We'll put the radio on, right? So you listen to the news.
Bloomberg strong economic data giving stocks.
It's 4:31.
The Dow up 238 points. The Nasdaq up 291. The S&P added 53.
You just seen me do a circle in the middle of Whacker. Look at it. Let's watch.
Well, it's been 5 days now since the joint U.S.-Israeli strike on Iran, and there's still no sign of any slowdown.
There you go.
CBS's Linda Kenyon reports on what the White House has to say today.
Thus far, Operation Epic Fury has been a resounding success.
It's 4:30.
Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
It's 4:30.
American forces have struck more than
It's 4:30.
targets, destroying hundreds
We're on
of ballistic missiles.
Upper Whacker.
Well, Secretary Leavitt.
We're on Upper Whacker here, right?
Questions remain about evacuating Americans in the region.
The administration is already rapidly chartering flights free of charge and booking commercial options.
That's Michigan Avenue right there in front of you.
While saying military aircraft will also be used. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House. For a while, we're also learning more about the FBI agents fired by Director Kash Patel last week. Many of those worked on counterintelligence, including cases regarding Iran.
A good majority of the dozen or so people that were let go over 2 days last week worked in the area of counterintelligence. Now, the squad that they worked
Look at that
on
up there. There ain't nobody there, right? You can see
counterintelligence issues involving all different
whatever.
countries, but among the countries that would include, of course, would be Iran. And the timing of these firings couldn't come at a worse time, obviously, because now, we are in war with Iran.
This is CBS's Sarah Lynch. Other terminated staffers included workers who handled espionage threats and had confidential informants in the Iranian community in the U.S. Well, members of Chicago's Jewish community are seeing increased security outside synagogues and other houses of worship while the conflict continues in the Middle East. It follows concerns about increased anti-Semitism during the military action.
Did you guys see me do those circles in the middle of the street? Remember, it's 4:30 right now. It's a Wednesday. It's Wednesday. A little bit of traffic here. I can't do my circles here, right?
Israel, crime and hate against incidents against the Jewish community here at home spikes.
Rebecca Weidinger from the Anti-Defamation League says the city saw a 58% increase last year.
Now we're going north on Michigan.
Rogers Park Alderwoman Deborah Silverstein is the only Jewish member of City Council.
Jewish Chicagoans make up just 3% of our population, yet they are victims of more than 1/3 of all reported hate crimes.
5 of Silverstein's City Council colleagues joined her and others to call on Mayor Johnson to take action on a task force report he received last month from the city's Commission on Human Relations.
We no longer feel safe.
And advocates accuse him of ignoring those safety concerns. We're in the Gold Coast. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9. WBBM.
And we've asked Mayor Johnson's office for a response. Well, the Senate has just voted to reject an attempt to rein in President Trump's power to wage war in Iran. Senators voted 53 to 47 on a war powers resolution that would have required the White House to seek congressional approval before conducting any further military strikes on Iran. The vote comes ahead of a vote expected in the House on a similar resolution, which could come tomorrow. 4:34, we're learning more this afternoon about the dignitaries who will be in Chicago on hand to say goodbye to the Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Former Presidents Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Joe Biden are all expected to attend the homegoing services for Reverend Jesse Jackson on Friday.
How many circles have I done? I'm getting dizzy with all these circles.
And Reverend James T. Meeks will lead the service.
I'm dizzy.
Remarks expected from Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, Congresswoman Maxine.
I'm dizzy making all these circles. I did circles on Upper Wacker. I did circles on Michigan Avenue. North and south of the river. That's pretty bad, right?
New details emerging in the concealment.
What's up? What's up?
Police have revealed that Lily Brindle's body was likely under a pile of blankets in a living room chair for more than 3 years. Her body was discovered during a well-being check in an advanced state of decomposition, mummified, according to the coroner's
Mummified,
office.
baby.
Police revealed a calendar on a wall was from 2022. A bottle of Gatorade found next to the woman's body expired in March of that year. Food in the refrigerator expired earlier than that. Bills were being paid. Social Security and pension checks were being cashed.
Ooh.
The grass was being mowed. And police say money was being withdrawn from a bank account, about $130,000. A neighbor and caretaker, 59-year-old Gina English Weed, according to police, told them she found the woman dead in the chair, possibly in August of 2022. She's due in court next week. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Looks like the rain and drizzle kind of wreaking a little havoc on the roads this afternoon. We're going to check in with the weather and your traffic report, plus your low gas prices next. It's 4:36.
Don't live one more day.
I mean, that's kind of an easy case there. 2022 sounds like she died. So what is that? 4 years. So whoever cashed them checks, yeah, they should be going to prison. Now here's the thing. I mean, that's fraud. I mean, unless they killed her. I mean, and you got to find out how she died. Did they like purposely let her die? I don't know. I don't know what the charges would be there. I think it's concealing a death, right? Concealing a dead body, and then there's probably fraud, stealing those checks. That's a Fed case, ain't it? When you cash people's checks, especially Social Security checks. So I don't know, man. They need to lock those people up. See, we got all kinds of that kind of stuff happening all over. I mean, why aren't we working on these things? I mean, nowadays with electronics, I mean, you should be able to check that stuff, right? They drain their bank account and they should be in prison. And everybody else, look, we can't be responsible for our families. We all, look, I have 4 kids. They do their thing. I was a kid. I did my thing. My dad was a kid. He did his thing. So, but at certain point, if, say, this person that was cashing the checks, right? And they got a house and a car, they need to confiscate all of that stuff and throw those people out of the house. And that's it. That's it. And I'm sorry about any kids or any people involved, but yeah, you don't get to keep when your family steals, you don't get to keep that. Like, what happened to Bernie Madoff's family? What happened to Epstein? I don't think Epstein had kids. But all these criminals, like the big criminals, that stole billions and billions and billions, right? Jeffrey Epstein has all these properties all around there. I don't think they've been confiscated yet. Why do they still have that stuff? I mean, that's weird, right? Bernie Madoff, I think they kept most of that money that his family and his kids, he had a few kids or something, I don't know. But it's kind of weird, right? And then some of these people who kill people, like this lady, one of these ladies killed somebody. Oh, that one who chopped up her neighbor on the north side. You heard about that one, right? She got $2.5 million, a lawsuit from CTA. She used a fake name for the lawsuit, first of all. And then she was running around doing stuff, and she killed and chopped up her neighbor and put her in a refrigerator. It's on the north side. She did this a couple of years ago. In the middle of this, she wins a lawsuit and gets $2.5 million while she's in prison for murder. Like, yeah, that don't sound like that's justice there. Why? And then the money is not that she sued a private person and she got ripped off with it. She sued Chicago. So here's Chicago giving money to a murderer. Imagine that. Imagine the city of Chicago, the CTA, gives money to somebody who chopped up a lady and put her in a refrigerator. Imagine that. What kind of a terroristic government we have? And that's what you hear. Did you hear the Jewish people? They said they filed a complaint, and the Commission on Human Rights, the agency. Today's video and tomorrow's article is going to be the criminality. Man, what are they doing here? Look at it. There ain't no traffic here. You see that? There's no one here. This is not traffic. Not on Whacker. This all should be packed. All 6 lanes should be packed both ways here. So think about this. The Jewish people said what today? They're not doing what we told them. And on top of what we told them, the Commission on Human Rights that protects human rights said you should be doing this, and they're still not doing it. So it's an independent government agency, the Commission on Human Rights, Chicago Commission on Human Rights, put out a report to protect Jewish people because they're getting anti-Semitic attacks. The university stuff, right? They were attacking. Imagine this. Universities allowed their own Jewish students to be attacked by pro-Gaza Hamas people. Hamas infiltrated universities. Everybody knows the Chicago Teachers Union had a direct connection to Hamas. They had a Hamas speaker talking. I don't know if it was at the union headquarters or something. And Jackson Potter was there. I think it was Jackson Potter or another guy from the union, an officer, was with this guy who was part of the, I think it was Hamas or he was Iranian. What is that? The Revolutionary Guards, IRC. Iranian Revolutionary Guard Council, IRGC. I think he was an IRGC guy. I gotta look for the video. There's a video somewhere on Twitter. The union sponsored this event. And he was leading chants with union members, Chicago Teachers Union members, death to America. That's what he was chanting. So then the Jewish people today, you heard on the radio, said, yeah, man, they ain't protecting us. And then you heard the Inspector General say, yeah, we asked for documents about a hire, and they didn't give it to us. That's because these guys are criminals, right? The mayor is a criminal. Here's the question always, and this is what I've been saying since the migrant thing happened a few years ago. I've been doing this for a few years now. Why isn't there anybody in prison? Why is there no one in jail? Look at it. There's no one here. Look in front of us. There's no one driving. Look, the downtown is completely empty. Look, what do I always tell you guys? What do you look for? Surface parking. See all the surface parking empty? Look at this. It's got some signs there. Maybe they're doing construction, but there's a lot of surface parking empty here. So when the question arises, oh, Brandon Johnson this and this and this, it's not about Brandon Johnson. There you go. That's another story. I always like documenting all the stories. That's a closed story there, right? We're on Lake and whatever we're Lake and Wells right here. The question now becomes, why isn't he being prosecuted? And then we get to the bigger answer. It's what we talked about in the first segment, and this is what you guys missed if you're just tuning in. These Democrats are jumping up and down like bozos, right? Oh, Trump blew up people and blah, 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 blah. And we just talked about it. And all those of you who have military family members, look, there's no one here. There's no one here, right? This is completely empty, right? It's completely empty here. Look at that. There's no traffic, zero traffic. There's no traffic. This street used to be packed with people right there, right? This is what we talked about the first segment, and I'm not going to repeat myself too much, but I just want to make sure that people that are tuning in, this is what we talked about the first segment. If you think this war that we're seeing today is Trump's war, you're silly. You're silly. It takes years to get to the point where you can do an invasion. Unless it's a super emergency, they can do some quick strikes. But something this big takes years to build up. You know, how do you know? Those bombs that they're blowing up, if they blow up 1,000 bombs, they need 1,000 bombs to replace those 1,000 bombs. Those 1,000 bombs take a long time to make. So if I know I'm going to use 1,000 bombs today, I got to make those 1,000 bombs, what, a year ago? Or maybe 2 years ago. And Trump's only been in office 1 year. So if they're using this many bombs, if they're using this much logistics, what does this tell you? That this was planned multi-years ago, and it was planned most likely under Biden. And maybe that's what Kash Patel did. We just heard on the radio, he fired all these FBI agents, right? I don't want to make an excuse of what that guy does, but maybe they were compromised. Maybe Biden allowed himself to be compromised. And how do we know that? Because we have a person that's our mayor who's a terrorist, who doesn't protect Jews. He doesn't protect black people. He doesn't protect political opponents. He doesn't protect the budget. He doesn't protect police. He lies and he covers things up. All he protects is himself and the group that is in power with him, which is the People's Liberation, is it a PLC committee or PLP? I forget. Party. PLP. They're part of the PLP. They're the most extreme radical. Ultra. They're not even left. They're not even left, these guys. They're not left. They're anti-American. They're anti-government. They're not left. They're not democratic. They're PLP. They're communists. They're the ultra-communists. They're the Maoist Marxists. And you got to differentiate between those two, okay? So it's like democracy. It's like Democrats. This is what I'll have to say this. Like the Democratic Party, you got environmentalists, you got PETAs, you got people who like to go to war, you like people who are conservative. There's all kinds of Democrats, right? Like there's all kinds of Republicans. Well, there's all kinds of communists. There's all kinds of them. There's millions of communists. There's like I don't know how many communists there are in the world. It might be 1 billion or 2 billion. It might be about 1 billion communists. Like Muslims. There's a couple of billion Muslims. There's 1 billion Catholics. But not all Catholics are the same. Not all Christians are the same. Not all Muslims are the same, right? So not all communists are the same. Not all socialists are the same. Not all communists are socialists. Some socialists are communists. Some communists are socialists, but they're not inclusive. So the reason I'm telling you this is this. The guys that run City Hall, and I gave you guys, talked about this before, and the reason I'm talking about this right now is because of what we heard on the radio. Brandon Johnson is controlled and in power by the most extreme, violent, anti-American group that there can be. They call for the overthrow of the American government. They call for the killing of police officers. They call for the destruction of all institutional apparatuses that promulgate capitalism and democracy. Brandon Johnson does not believe in democracy. Go look at the Chicago Teachers Union, check how many elections they've had, and they've had elections where there was no candidates. Imagine 30,000 people that live all over the Chicago area. There's young, there's old, there's white, there's black, there's conservative, there's liberals. The Chicago Teachers Union, right? It's a big union. It's one of the bigger unions in the United States. It's one of the biggest unions in Illinois. Imagine they didn't have an election. They didn't even have an opposition party to run for an election. Why? Because they wiped it out. That's the people that are running our city right now, okay? That's enough of my talk. And the reason I said that is those two reports you heard on the radio. Brandon Johnson refused to give the Inspector General documents. And Brandon Johnson is refusing to protect Jewish residents, even after the Commission on Human Rights told them that they should do something to protect the Jewish people in Chicago, right? So we're going to listen to some radio calls, and that's enough of my talking about that, right? But think about the war. Think about the war. Think about how long it took. Talk to your military family and ask them, how long does it take to get ready for a deployment? This is the easiest question to ask anyone in the military. How long does it take to be deployed? How long does it take to get a battalion ready for deployment? How many years, do backwards mapping, how many years back, or how many front load, how do you front load that, right? It's either way, it's front loading, right? If we're in the past, we'd say how many years ahead of time do we have to do this? If you're backwards mapping, meaning you're looking backwards, right? And you're going, okay, so if they invaded today, when did they have to plan on this? That's the point. Remember, and it's not only the planning, it's not only the people, it's the ammunition, it's the planes, it's the bombs. If you're exploding 1,000 bombs today, you have to have those bombs ready to be replaced. And those bombs that are replacing the ones that are bombed, they have to already be being replaced in the factories. So do you see where I'm going with this line here? It's a long time. Yeah, there you go, Ms. Zidor. You don't just go to the war. They don't just drop you off on Omaha Beach. You don't go to Okinawa like today. That's not how that works. There's acclimation. There's all kinds of stuff they do. And you know what I'm talking about. All right, listen to some radio calls. That's enough of my jibber jabbering. Listen to some radio calls for a few minutes, and then we'll listen to the 5 o'clock news there. All right, thanks for listening to me. I appreciate all you guys. Listen to some radio calls.
What's the description again there?
Oh man, there's a car there, right? Let's
Only
listen.
description we have is
There's something going on there.
386 boy.
And then I'm going to the birthday party in my neighborhood.
Jackson, please.
09115. 09115.
383 Henry.
83 Henry.
Number for eastbound bus. Onwards about from Kilbourne. Bus number 8599.
09121. 09121. Alright, we're getting an assault in progress over at the Blue Line, Clark and Lake. Caller says there's a male threatening people. He's wearing a bright yellow top. No weapons seen. Do I have anybody over there? Blue Line, Clark and Lake?
That's right here. We didn't see nothing, did we?
7386 Charlie. 7386 Charlie. 7386 Charlie. 7386 Charlie, or any of my mass transit units that are over at Clark and Lake.
Assault in progress. Blue Line, Clark and Lake.
Only description we have is a bright yellow top.
Bright yellow cap.
No, it says tap, so I don't know. Sure.
Alrighty, 10-4, we'll check them down.
Alright, thanks. And do I have anybody over at Clark and Lake?
7386, you got 7836 Charlie over there. If you can't raise them, I'll call them.
Yeah, I've tried calling him a few times. I'll try again. 86 Charlie.
I'll get my Hog Squad.
Alright, thank you.
7387 Charlie David.
87 Charlie and David.
Going northbound from Irving Park, car number 3244.
09208. 09208.
Yep.
Alright, 7301 Sam, we got a little bit of a better description. Male black, wearing a reflective vest, black pants. He's supposedly on the platform threatening to kill everybody.
Alrighty, checking out.
There you go. So I'm coming home from work or school or the museum or whatever, whatever is left to do downtown, and here's a dude on the platform saying, I'm gonna kill everybody. Yeah, I don't think that's a safe thing to be happening while we're, yeah, and how did that guy get on the train? I bet he was let on the train. We got videos of that, too. Remember the video I got of the CTA workers letting people go on the train for free over there? I was there at Clark and Lake.
Garfield in the red line.
Garfield. Okay, 09232. 09232.
Alrighty.
One more time, please.
Ain't nobody down there.
It
It's
is
4:53.
09232. 09232.
Copy, thank you.
You're welcome.
7386 Charlie.
86 Charlie. Could you do me a favor over at the Blue Line, Clark and Lake? We got a few calls of an assault in progress. Supposedly there's a male black threatening to kill everybody on the platform. He's wearing a reflective vest, black pants.
10-4 squad. We'll take a check.
Threatening to kill everybody on the platform.
All right, thank you.
There you go. Who's... What?
7-3. 7 David.
7397 David.
There you go, right.
Yeah, street stop. Blue line, Monroe.
Those are white drug addicts there walking.
09245.
There you go.
09245.
Watch, there's a sheriff in front of me. He might give me a ticket. I gotta watch the sheriff over here. You got that? And there's a sheriff over here, man.
Station check. 47 in the red line.
These are scarecrow cars. There's nobody in these cars. They're scarecrows. Yeah, I gotta watch that sheriff, man. Those sheriffs don't play, man. I'm sure. I'm gonna see if he's a scarecrow, man.
7303.
That's a scarecrow too. There ain't nobody in those cars. They're scarecrows.
EMS over here at Midwest for detox squad.
Alright, some for you on the platform.
Overdose. That's an overdose at Midway, right? Man, how many circles? I'm getting dizzy with all these circles, man.
7303, got ambulance 54 headed over there.
Midway, ambulance 53, man. I'm dizzy with all these circles here, man. I'm dizzy. I'm dizzy. I better keep going straight because I'm getting dizzy. There you go, man. It's 4:56 p.m. Middle of downtown Chicago.
Do a 19 call for that disturbance. And can we get a Clark and Lake CTA check, please?
Alright, 10-4. That event number for the disturbance is going to be 09154. 09154. And your event number for the check is going to be 09284. 09284.
We got to get that event number. I'm going to pull that. He said 9 Paul. That means dismiss it. We got to get the event number and pull the records. Hold on, let me pull over here, right?
Number for Roosevelt bus eastbound from Karlov. Bus number 8638.
I got to get that event number, right?
7386 Charlie. 7386 Charlie, you calling us?
What's that number when you hear it?
Can you do a 19 call for that disturbance? And can we get a Clark and Lake CTA check, please?
Alright, 10-4. That event number for the disturbance is going to be 09154. 09154. And your event number for the check is going to be 09284. 09284. Did I have another unit turn?
There we go. I got him. Thanks. So they 19 Paul means it's over with. They took care of it. Nothing happened.
Number for Roosevelt Bus, eastbound from Karlov. That's number 8638.
09289. 09289.
Plus.
397 turn.
7397 Charlie. Alright, is that 97 David that needs a transport at the Blue Line Monroe? Sorry, it was loud in the back.
Blue Line Monroe. Somebody under arrest. 4:58 p.m. March 4th, 2026. Downtown's empty.
Alright, 10-4, thanks.
7395 David.
7395 David.
Yeah, we have a stop at the Grand Red Line. Can we get a transport? We have one in custody.
Alright, one in custody. It's going to be 1626 hours. And yes, I will get you a transport.
7383 Frank.
83 Frank.
Thank you, one for start back in the red.
Let's listen to the news.
Delays eastbound Larkin before Briggs and Kedzie onto the tri-state. Nothing major in northwest Indiana, just a little heavier than normal on 8094.
Wow, these lights are all red all the way around. The lights are red all the way around. The lights are broken here. The lights are broken. All the lights are all red all the way around. The lights are broken right there.
This is so simple now.
The lights were broken on that street. See that?
And pop the champagne later. Cash now, more later. Now available nationwide. Start your offer at opendoor.com/radio. Profits calculated after fees and costs. Eligibility and offer price may vary. Now, Anshin Accountants and Advisors presents The Tax Minute with Yair Holtzman, partner and lead.
All the lights were red at that intersection there.
The One Big Beautiful Bill Act restored full expensing of domestic research and development expenditures, allowing businesses to deduct qualifying costs immediately or choose among different tax treatments. Beginning with tax years after December 31st, 2024, special elections for small businesses can be applied retroactively. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we help businesses develop a proactive tax plan, identify qualified activities and expenses, and optimize cash flow and tax benefits. If your business is investing in your...
It's 5 o'clock. WBBM is late.
Bloomberg World Headquarters in New York. I'm Doug Krisner. 6 p.m. on Wall Street, and in a moment or two, we'll cross home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump can continue striking Iran. A war powers resolution, which would have slapped limits on the U.S. military campaign, has failed in the Senate. Senator Chris Coons, a Democrat from Delaware, supported the measure.
To send a clear message that taking America to war in Iran was done by President Trump without meaningfully consulting the American people or Congress.
Republican Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana.
Our founders designated the president to be commander-in-chief. I think they left it intentionally vague.
The House will vote on a similar resolution tomorrow. In a defeat for the Trump administration, a federal judge in New York has ruled that companies that paid tariffs struck down last month by the Supreme Court are due refunds. President Trump says the U.S. attack against Iran has been both necessary and successful, CBS's Linda Kenyon reports.
President Trump is proud of the operation.
We're doing very well on the war front.
Speaking at the top of a roundtable discussion on power generation for AI data centers, the president put it this way.
On a scale of 10, where would you rate it? I said about a 15.
Trump said he has no doubt the U.S. attack against Iran was fully justified.
If we didn't hit within 2 weeks, they would have had a nuclear weapon. If we didn't do the B-2 attack a number of months ago, they would have a nuclear weapon.
Adding, in his words, when crazy people have nuclear weapons, bad things happen. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Global air travel remains severely disrupted due to the war with Iran, which forced the closure of key Middle Eastern hubs. The first commercial flight from Dubai to Hong Kong since the outbreak of the conflict landed today, much to the relief of this man.
I must say, for the first time, it was very scary, especially like the first night. Of course, we were very stressful, but luckily I had my family with me.
He led the Fighting Irish to the 1988 National Championship, and today Notre Dame University has announced that Lou Holtz has died at the age of 89. Holtz told those at the 2020 Medal of...
Yeah, you can't trust them, but you gotta use them, and you gotta gauge the news. The good way to do is listen to multiple newscasts and see where it aligns and where it doesn't align. They got more resources than I do, right? I can't be in Iran, so... And I can't be watching the Senate.
Massive power outage in Cuba.
La central termoeléctrica Antonio Guiteras provocó...
A news anchor announced the outage was caused by a thermoelectric power plant. Much of the country was impacted, including Havana. Millions were left without power. Cuba's been experiencing major blackouts for years now, even before the Trump administration cut off oil shipments.
What's up, brother? You doing good? I don't know if I'll stop by today. I may stop by tomorrow. You like the pizza, right? Sausage, right? All right, I'll get you some. If I get a little extra time, I'll stop by, all right? Take it easy, my brother, okay? It's always good to see you, all right? Take it easy. Guy's sleeping back over there, right?
It's 5:03, Wednesday, the 4th day of March. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Lisa Fielding. We've got light rain, drizzle, and fog going on right now. Temperatures in the 30s for the most part. Low tonight around.
Remember, we used to do the migrant stuff over here, right?
As well. The AccuWeather 5-day forecast coming up at 5:15, but first at 5. A group of suburban moms arrested at a Broadview immigration facility during Operation Midway Blitz won't be facing charges after all. WBBM's Glenn Marshall has our top story.
Cook County prosecutors are dropping cases against 15 mothers who jumped concrete barriers outside the ICE processing center in Broadview last November, part of 21 dismissals connected to protests at the facility. Now, the women, mostly from Oak Park and River Forest, say they planned the act of civil disobedience to draw attention to aggressive federal immigration enforcement in the Chicago area. The Cook County State's Attorney's Office says they strongly support freedom of speech protections and respect every person's constitutional right to peacefully assemble and protest. Their attorneys say the DA's office made the right call, noting none of the dismissed cases involved violence or resisting officers. More than 100 people were arrested at the Broadview facility this fall. Most of those cases remain open. Glenn Marshall, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Chicago's top government watchdog says her colleagues basically had to resort to going undercover in order to get information about hiring in one city agency. Inspector General Deborah Witzberg is talking about an attempt to review the hiring file of a staff member made inside the city's law department, which the department initially refused to provide. Witzberg says her office eventually got the file by submitting an anonymous public records request. She says her agency, by law, has the authority to make sure city hiring is not subject to political or any other influences.
City workers are paid with taxpayer dollars. Information about how Chicago works belongs to Chicagoans, the same Chicagoans who pay their tax bills.
The law department submitted a response to the new IG report denying that it deliberately failed to comply with city rules. Well, if losing a loved one wasn't hard enough, searching for their will can sometimes create more unnecessary stress. Now, there's a proposal in Springfield that attempts to make the process easier for heirs so they don't have to go to court to sort out these tapes.
You just heard that case, right? But the other part that's more important, and I don't know those guys that were doing the protest, but it was funny because those ICE protesters were from what? Oak Park and River Forest. That's the liberals. And who is the prosecutor right now? Eileen Burke. Didn't she say she was going to be tough on crime? And she's not going to be tough on people from Oak Park because that's the people who elected her, right? Now how this works? Eileen Burke just dropped the anti-ICE protesters' cases. 21 of them, right? That jumped the gate. So they weren't doing civil disobedience. They admitted they jumped the gate. So they trespassed on federal property. Yet, the cases were dropped. Kind of funny, right?
About a glaring security flaw in the county's email system. All county board members had the same generic password and had for years. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
People attending services at synagogues in the Chicago area say they are seeing increased security. It's in response to rising concerns about anti-Semitic attacks after the Israeli and U.S. military operation in Iran. Leaders of Jewish organizations in Chicago say reports of anti-Jewish hate went up 58% last year. Now they're calling on Mayor Johnson to address recommendations from a task force report put out by the city's Commission on Human Relations. One of its members is Dan Goldwyn from the Jewish United Fund.
The city already has task forces addressing governmental efficiency, the city's fiscal and financial future, innovation and technology, and planning and environmental governance. Launching a task force to address surging anti-Jewish hate should not be a stretch for this mayor or this city.
Advocates say the report has been sitting on the mayor's desk for weeks without any action. Well, we've asked the mayor's office for a response. It's 5:08. Time for traffic and weather together on the 8th. The rain causes some problems, Neil.
So you're hearing, it's basically today's news is business as usual. Miss Eileen Burke, I'm tough on crime, just dropped all the cases against protesters who jumped the fence. I get it. I believe in freedom of speech and protest. I believe in assembly and all of that. But you just heard it. I knew that she was not a good person when, you know what happened? When the guys killed George Levin, that guy who got murdered in his own house. Those guys were released by Eileen Burke. You hear any prosecutions for adults when these minors kill and carjack? You hear Eileen Burke prosecuting any parents? That guy just got convicted, didn't he, in that other state? Yesterday, we got to write it up. Guy just got convicted because his kid went on a shooting spree in a school. Remember that one? It just happened yesterday. Let's look it up. Look how many people are walking here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I got another 5 coming here, 30. We're talking about the ones going that way. That way, to the train. These are the 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. So we're at about 35. Got 3 more here, 38. Got 2 more, that's 40, 42. Count, keep counting. 42 people. We got 10 more there, 52. Got another 5 crossings, 57. I counted 57 people crossing the street at 5:10 p.m. That don't fill a bus. That don't fill one CTA bus. In the middle of rush hour. That doesn't fill a bus. Okay? Eileen Burke is not our friend. She just released Oak Park white people, liberals, that jumped the fence. She doesn't prosecute families of these offenders that carjack, murder, and maim our citizens, right? She should be going after all those parents. Hey, I'm gonna look it up on my other phone here. Let me see this. Yeah, there ain't nobody here, man. Chill out, bro. All right, let me check this here. Excuse me. I'll keep going.
Hey, we're all in the same boat. But surgery, that was never my answer.
Baseball legend Roger Clemens knows there's a better way.
Father convicted for getting his son a gun who went on a school shooting. Father convicted of getting his son a gun after a school shooting. There you go. Right there. See that there? Where was it? Was this in Georgia? Right there. Just happened. That just happened yesterday. Right there, Georgia. They just convicted the father. Why aren't we doing that here, right? Right there, that guy. Right there. Guilty for father of teenage school shooter. Right there. Why aren't we doing that in Chicago? If Eileen Burke was true to what she said, she's gonna be tough on crime, why isn't she prosecuting adults, parents of teenage killers and carjackers? Why isn't she doing that? Because she ain't tough on crime. She lied. That's why. She's not tough on crime. You just heard her. It just happened on the radio. She just let all those anti-ICE protesters go. She's not tough on crime.
Capture that in the essence of a chip. We wanted it to feel like you were at your favorite craft brewery, enjoying a beer.
She says 1 in 20 of these limited edition bags contain the green chips. Those who find them will win an instant prize and will also be
heard
entered
that
to win
already,
free
right?
chips for
That's
an
just
entire
some
year.
radio calls. That's enough. We're that's a rerun now. And it's just, let's go to radio calls, and then I'm gonna go to this birthday party in my neighborhood, right? For the city, right?
7383 Frank.
7383 Frank.
I get a number for Sir Mac in the red.
09600. 09600.
7383 Charlie.
83 Charlie.
Sorry for 69 and red line.
09610. 09610.
7391 David.
91 David.
Sorry, can I get a number for a street stop over here, Stadium Lake Red?
09622. 09622.
Units at 1934 and Citywide. We're getting on assault in progress. 2754 North Park at Starbucks for a male black wearing a red jacket, threatening staff and stealing unowned offending weapons. District 19 Zone 2 station clear.
7383 Eddie.
83 Eddie.
We're on a northbound train to Roosevelt from Garfield. We're on car 5650.
09641. 09641. Units to 20 Citywide, Southern Progress 5027 North Carolina, 5027 North Carolina. At Thorpe Hospital, the first floor main building. Unruly male white patient threatening employees. Caller is afraid, wants to remove an escort to her vehicle. He's in the ER waiting room. The red bandana, black jacket, black jeans, light gray and white shoes on the first zone 11.
326.
7326.
3326.
Oh, 3326. How can I help you?
Call myself at 25 down at Lintra.
Alright, come aboard. That event number is 09071. 09071.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
7383 Adam.
83 Adam.
Could I get an event number for the red line on the south side of the street, 95th?
09683. 09683.
7386.
7386.
Train mission from Howard South on the red line, car 5253.
09715. 09715.
996. 7383 George.
83 George.
79th, going westbound from Ashland. I need an event.
09729. 09729.
367. Red line Roosevelt, please.
Alright, I had 2 units coming in. Who's over at the red line Roosevelt?
386 Adam.
Alright, 86 Adam, take 09739. 09739. And what other unit was coming in?
M2.
M2.
Number for South Branch, please.
09746. 09746.
7383 David.
83 David.
Red line check 47 in the right.
09746. 09752. 09752.
Chicago Boulevard Radio, the time is 1700 hours and 4th day of March 2026. Chicago Boulevard Radio is clear.
Number 386 Frank.
86 Frank.
Can I have a French number for the red line on Howard, please?
09763. 09763.
7383 boy.
83 boy.
79 at the red line, please.
09779. 09779.
38670.
8600.
Okay, check on Chicago State red line.
09796. 09796.
2.
M2.
Number for North Branch, please.
M2 is the Marine unit.
09837. 09837.
Thank you.
What unit is going on in Citywide? I got a person with a knife at 5553 South on Blackstone. Zach said 3 males, teenagers. Black hoodie backpacks. One of them has on red Jordan jacket. Is breaking a car window. Has a knife and he's ready to shoot the complaint in the backyard. Second district on 7.
Breaking into cars on Blackstone. 55th, right?
383 Charlie.
Is that what you said? 55th and Blackstone, right?
83 Charlie.
That's a nice neighborhood. That's University of Chicago. Let's listen to that one more. That's the University of Chicago.
M2.
Number for North Branch, please.
Listen up.
09837. 09837.
Thank you.
What unit is going on in Citywide? I got a person with a knife at 5553 South on Blackstone. Zach said 3 males, teenagers. Black hoodie backpacks. One of them has on red Jordan jacket. Is breaking a car window. Has a knife and he's ready to shoot the complaint in the backyard. Second district on 7.
Breaking car windows, 55th and Blackstone. A bunch of teenagers. One has a knife and threatening to shoot the caller.
83 Charlie.
Number for upper platform, please. It's climbing red.
09876. 09876.
7387 Charlie David.
87 Charlie and
Car number 7101 traveling northbound from Montrose to Blue Line.
09895. 09895. 09895.
86 boy.
86 boy.
Blue 9 check. Contact
09904. 09904.
Thank you.
Answer 17 Citywide assault progress 4728 on Irving at the target. A caller says there's a guy in a black jogging suit threatening staff. Nothing further, don't click.
7386 Charlie.
86 Charlie.
Sorry, crossing labor. Line check, please.
09927. 09927.
83 Adam.
83 Adam.
I have a event for North on the 95th at the red line.
09940. 09940.
386 Frank.
Frank.
Prevent number for the red lane at Howard, please.
09945. 09945.
But here's at 3 on that speedway. I got a burglary in progress. I got 6926 South on Church here. Maisha said that somebody is breaking into her home. She just ran out the front door. It's a female wearing a gray shirt, pink pajama pants, but she didn't see anyone. She just heard them coming in and she ran out. 3rd District on that.
630.
8600.
15 seconds, Chicago red line.
We might be done. That was crime is down. So we might be even with the calls. Let me double check. Go back a minute or two.
733 Frank.
733 Frank out.
Give you a number for Sir Mac in the red.
09998. 09998. 1921 units at 19 and Citywide. We're getting a start in progress at the Brown line at the Addison stop. Says middle on the train going from car to car, gesturing as if he's going to punch passengers as he's passing by. Male black, thin, wearing a navy blue hoodie, white in his pants, possibly car number 426. CTA notified, states that they will call CT. I don't know. It's an anonymous caller, so that's all I got. 19 District Zone, to radio clear.
33867. 301 Sam.
7801 Sam.
The service was at the Addison Brown lane, right?
Yeah.
Alright. And for any updates, because it looks all good at the mezzanine and platform as of right now.
No updates. 1921 is en route over there.
Alright, 10-4.
Now we're up to date. We're up to date on our calls, so I hope everybody's doing all right. We'll listen to the 5:30 news because that's local. It switches then, right? The top of the hour is usually like big national stories. The 5:31 on WBBM, they usually go a little lower. I mean, lower. Local, more local. I'm sorry to say it that way. But you know what I'm talking about. So we'll listen to that. That's coming up. And I'm going to this party. There's supposed to be a birthday party for the Chicago down by me. What is that? We're at 37 and Henry. It's supposed to be a little thing. That's the geographic center of the city. That's why we have it there. So maybe stop over here, see what's going on at the homeless shelter at 23rd and Halsted. See if they still have the tents going on here. Right. And then we'll cut it short for today, right? If something comes up, I'll post it or I'll go out, you know. In the old days when I started doing this with the migrants, I would just do a quick route, like an hour maybe or less, and I would actually do individual videos. I got a ton of that stuff. I don't even know how to... I get so much new news that I'd like to repost. Like, I got 3 years of videos right now of migrants and crime, and I would love to put up, like, the main parts of it, especially the migrant stuff, to show what really happened to us in this city, right?
7383 boy.
7383 boy.
79 Sam, the red line, please.
10083. 10083. 10090. 10090.
Hey.
I don't know what's going on here. Why there's traffic? It might be the homeless shelter in front of us, right? Multiple Twitter scanner feeds also, including the video, is from Twitter. I don't know if they're gonna have this party tonight. We'll see. We'll go up or show up. It's my neighborhood, so I support my neighborhood. It was funny. I made a crazy 5:30. I'll leave it with this. George Cardenas is a whatever part of the machine, whatever. I went against him and all of this stuff before in the past. It was funny. He made a comment somewhere about some stuff, and I put a comment on his page. And he's gonna like it. I said, I don't get along with you, and I didn't. There's stuff written. I've written stuff about George Cardenas. You can look it up. I said, but the ward has gone to crap, and if you were running for alderman, I'd vote for you. That's how much you change in 20 years. You know what I mean?
I'm on the line 95th Street, but south side of it.
Maybe it's because I'm getting older, right?
113.
There's our homeless guys right there. See that there? They're messing around. They're on the bicycle. Right? And this is on news. The local
I'm away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 and WBBM.
It's the homeless shelter, 23rd and Alston.
5:30, good evening. I'm Lisa Fielding. Here are the top stories on News Radio WBBM. The White House standing by. U.S. strikes on Iran, saying they are a necessary show of American military strength.
This is Mike Krauser. Governor J.B. Pritzker demands more from the State Department to help Americans stranded in the Middle East in harm's way.
Chicago's top official watchdog raises new concerns about getting cooperation from city leaders to make sure government hiring is fair. I'm political editor Jeff Buckles at City Hall.
Plus, the U.S. Attorney's Office drops its case against former President Biden, accusing the unlawful use of an auto pen to issue pardons. In sports, legendary Notre Dame football coach Lou Holtz has died. In business,
I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg. Strong economic data giving stocks a pretty big boost today. The Dow up 238 points, the Nasdaq up 291, the S&P added 53.
38 degrees at 5:31. The news continues, sponsored by Busey Bank. The Trump administration is touting the success so far of the U.S. military operation against Iran. The latest now from CBS's Linda Kenyon.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says Iran doesn't have a chance against American military might.
The rogue Iranian terrorist regime is being absolutely crushed.
Secretary Leavitt says Operation Epic Fury has struck more than 2,000 targets on the ground and more than 20 Iranian ships. When asked whether the U.S.-led operation will include American boots on the ground,
I certainly will never take away military options on behalf of the President of the United States or the Commander-in-Chief.
While adding both commercial and military aircraft are working to bring home Americans in the region. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
In Illinois, Governor Pritzker pressing Secretary of State Marco Rubio to do more to help Americans and Illinoisans stranded in the Middle East, including residents from here.
The president said yesterday it all happened very quickly when asked why there were no plans to help American citizens. A statement from the State Department, accused by some lawmakers of incompetence, said it is facilitating charter flights from some countries and military aircraft and was asking airlines to send larger planes. Governor J.B. Pritzker said in a letter to Rubio there have been numerous requests from U.S. citizens, Illinois residents, seeking support to return to the U.S. He wrote Illinois citizens have expressed considerable fear for their safety, as well as serious financial and logistical challenges, and that includes people in multiple countries in the region. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
5:33, new questions about the Johnson administration's compliance with rules designated to make sure government stays transparent and hiring stays fair.
Chicago's Inspector General's office has a lot of responsibilities. One of those is making sure the city follows rules designed to eliminate what's called patronage hiring. You know, hiring the alderman's sister's cousin. IG Deborah Witzberg says her office formally requested the hiring file of a staffer in the city's law department. She says the Corporation Council refused that request, saying the position was high profile.
Neither the law department's duty to cooperate nor OIG's statutory authority to oversee employment practices contain exceptions for high-profile situations.
Later, the IG's office filed a second anonymous request for the same information. This time, they got it.
If something walks and talks like hostility to oversight, sometimes it's just hostility to oversight.
A response from the law department denied it deliberately failed to comply, and a response from the mayor's office said it's asked the law department to review its procedures. We're at City Hall. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9. WBBM.
Happy 189th birthday to Chicago. In honor of the celebration, the Willis Tower is launching a new program that invites special guests to pick which color to illuminate the skyline.
Skydeck Chicago's Guest Color Picker initiative lets Chicago icons choose the Willis Tower's antenna colors that will light up the sky that evening. Skydeck says the year-long program is a new way to spotlight the people and moments that make Chicago shine. The ceremonial light switch moment takes place inside Skydeck's lower-level museum, where guests can experience an antenna replica that mirrors the real Willis Tower antennas. Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
It's 5:34 around the nation. Federal prosecutors with U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro's office dropping a criminal probe into whether former President Biden and his aides illegally used an auto pen to issue pardons. The probe has been dropped because prosecutors were never able to find a legal hook to be able to pursue the matter further. Not clear when the case was ended, but it represents one of several attempts in recent months by the Pirro's office to pursue cases against President Trump's political enemies. Recently, a grand jury refused to indict 6 Democratic lawmakers for making a video that urged military service members to reject unlawful orders. Millions of people in Havana are without power after a major blackout that hit the western half of Cuba today. It's the second such outage to affect Cuba's western region in the past 3 months. It comes as Cuba says it's filing terrorism charges against 6 suspects that were allegedly aboard a Florida flagged speedboat involving a shootout with Cuban soldiers. Cammie McCormick has more on that.
4 of the occupants of that speedboat were killed, including an American citizen, 6 others detained, and one of them is believed to be a U.S. citizen. The Cuban government says it seized high-powered weapons and nearly 13,000 rounds of ammunition from the boat. The terrorism charges carry possible sentences of up to 30 years in prison or even the death penalty, though Cuba halted executions in 2003.
A U.S. official confirmed to CBS News that at least 1 U.S. citizen was also among those charged. Well, millions of more people than previously thought are at risk of extreme flooding.
A new study in the journal Nature says most sea level research has underestimated coastal water heights. Katharina Seeger is the study's lead author.
The measured global coastal sea level is on average 20 centimeters to 30 centimeters higher than the commonly assumed one.
Researchers determined about 90% of previous studies underestimated baseline coastal water heights by an average of 1 foot. They say the problem is due to a mismatch between the way sea and land altitudes are measured. The inaccuracies occur most often in the global south, the Pacific, and Southeast Asia. More accurate baseline heights means if seas rise by about 3 feet, as some studies predict will happen by the end of the century, water could inundate up to 37% more land, threatening between 77 million and 132 million more people. I'm Mike Hempton.
Step into the vivid world of Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera when you experience the Chicago premiere of El Último Sueño de Frida y Diego. March 21st to April 4th at Lyric Opera of Chicago. Tickets at lyricopera.org.
Think green. Hi, this is Tonya Corey, owner of Green Tea Lawn Care. Now is the time to have that beautiful lawn you always wanted.
Green Tea Services.
Our environment-friendly program will give you the greenest lawn on the block. Our state-certified technicians will care for your lawn like it's their own.
So the main thing today is that the mayor's office does not comply with the inspector general, right? That's the main thing you get today. Let's hear what's on the radio calls, because we're getting back to my place, right? And we'll see if we're missing anything or there's any crime happening. We started around 5:30, so we'll put this back a few minutes and listen up, right? There we go.
83, Adam.
Could I get an event number for the red line on the south side of the street, 95th?
09683. 09683.
7386.
7386.
Transmission from Howard South on the red line, car 5253.
09715. 09715.
996. 7383 George.
83 George.
79th, going westbound from Ashland. I need an event.
09729. 09729.
367 Redline Roosevelt, please.
Alright, I had 2 units coming in. Who's over at the red line Roosevelt?
386 Adam.
Alright, 86 Adam, take 09739. 09739. And what other unit was coming in?
M2.
M2.
Number for South Branch, please.
09746. 09746.
7383 David.
83 David.
Red line check 47 to the right.
We might have canceled it because it's raining, right?
09752. 09752.
Chicago Board of Burritos attendance, 1700 hours and 4th March 2026. Chicago Board of Burritos clear.
So we're 40 minutes back.
7386 Frank.
So let's jack that up because we already listened to all of this.
383 Charlie.
We listened to all of this. Sorry.
7386 Charlie.
I want to catch up in case we missed something.
7383 Adam.
7386 Frank.
But here's just around on that city, but I got a burglary in progress. I got 6926 South on Church Gear. Maisha said that somebody is breaking into
We
her
heard
home.
Maisha,
Ran
right?
out the front door. It's a female wearing a gray shirt, pink pajama pants, but she didn't see anyone. She just heard them coming in and she ran out. 3rd District on 7.
We heard that one already, right?
7386 Eddie.
1921 units at 19 and citywide getting a start in progress at the Brown line at the Addison stop. Says middle on train going from car to car, gesturing as if he's going to punch passengers as he
We heard this.
by. Male black, thin, wearing a navy blue hoodie, white in his pants, possibly car number 426. CTA notified, states the stable call CC. I don't know. It's an anonymous caller, so that's all I got. 19 district zone to radio clear.
33867.
867.
Roosevelt, red lane, please. 7386 Adam.
86 Adam.
Red line, Roosevelt, please.
10249. 10249.
386 Eddie.
86 Eddie.
CTA, check out Chicago on the red line.
10254. 10254.
we on time? And that's it. My phone.
7383 David.
83 David.
Station check, 47th at the red line.
10024. 10024.
7361.
7361.
Well, can I get a VIN number for Roosevelt and also a VIN number for Chicago, please?
Alright, Roosevelt is gonna be. Hold on. Roosevelt's 10029. 10029. And hold on. And Chicago is gonna be 10033. 10033.
701 Sam.
7801 Sam.
Hey, the service was at the Addison Brown link, right?
Yeah.
Alright. 7383 George.
83 George.
I did an event for 79th Street going eastbound. Off of Wayne.
One 10282. 10282.
Four.
Putting in this info in on the citywide. I'm getting a call of shots fired. I got 4-5 in direct to about 30 to 40 gunshots heard, but nothing seen. 2nd District on 7.
Charlie.
I'm sorry, Charlie, you're not coming in?
7386 Charlie Squad.
86 Charlie.
Clark Lake, check please.
10294. 10. Alright, we're getting numerous calls about an auto accident with injury on the drive. Lakeshore Drive at 31st in the southbound lanes. The CTA bus just hit a taxi at the location.
There you go. CTA bus hit a taxi, 31st and Lakeshore Drive.
3213. 3213.
Put it on the box, please. Give me like a few minutes. I have to just get the car ready.
Okay, 10-4. Hello, Papa.
Hi, Ramona.
That's Ramona and that's Barbara. The Barbara is the Polish lady. Ramona is the dispatcher. Then there's Alex. And then there's another. I know a couple of the names here. I don't know them all, though. I think we're up to date there, right? Like I said, we don't control the crime, and we would love that there would be no crime, and we would be doing fishing videos, or knitting videos, or my wood recycling videos, all kinds of cool things.
Alright, and also on the drive, we're getting a reckless driver, 1749 North Lakeshore Drive in the northbound lanes. Caller says there's a pink bus driver, bus number 8597, that started yelling at her and tried to hit her car 2 times.
Oh man, look at that. But
3215. You can go ahead and 19 call that. And show me going to first 13.
Okay, 10-4. Thank you.
what was that there? The earlier one? Where was that bus? A hostile bus driver? Where was that?
Alright, and also on the drive, we're getting a reckless driver, 1749 North Lakeshore Drive in the northbound lanes. Caller says there's a pink bus driver, bus number 8597, that started yelling at her and tried to hit her car 2 times.
3215. You can go ahead and 19
Hostile bus driver, Lakeshore Drive.
And show me going to first 13.
Okay, 10-4.
1749, she said, right? Caller said he tried to hit her car twice. There you go, man. Pretty wild out there, huh? Hostile bus driver, huh?
83 Adam.
83 Adam.
Could I have an event number for North Red Line on 95th Street?
Of course. It's 103.
383 Charlie.
83 Charlie.
Over the platform, 69 the red line, please.
10346. 10346.
Alrighty, let's keep moving. Nick, what's up, my brother? Hey, everybody, let's congratulate Nick's stepdaughter Ruby on getting all A's. Ooh, congratulations. Yay. I hope she becomes a mayor or governor or president or CEO or something and fixes everything. We need those straight A students. I just seen congratulations, Nick. That's exciting. That's some cool news right there. Straight A's. I love that. I've seen, we live by a couple of schools in our neighborhood, and they walk to the park after school to do exercise, right? Or sports. I see one of these kids walking, and I greet them all the time. And I said, I don't know what I said. Hey, have a good afternoon or whatever. He goes, oh, thank you, sir. I said, you keep going forward and you fix our country. And you know what the young kid said? He was a teenager or something like that. He goes, I will. It's great. It's good to see the future. You know, thank you, Nick. That's so cool, man. Straight A's, that's, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about that, man. I don't have that no more. All my kids are grown, so it's exciting. That's some cool stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. It's what, I told you guys the story of a student I had once. Her name was Paris Lacker. Great student, smartest student I ever had. She was a great student. I told this story a few times, and she said, Dr. Kugler, you're always helping those kids over there, and they don't come to class, they give you trouble, they don't do their work. Why do you keep doing it? And I said, well, they need extra help. And you know what Paris said? She goes, what about us good kids? That's all she said. And you know how far that happened almost 20 years ago. 20 years ago, and I still repeat that story. To the exact words I say that story. And is it stepdaughter or whatever, Ruby? Straight A's, you celebrate her, take her out for dinner, you show her that's what we need. That's the kind of individuals we need. And yeah, we do all the other stuff, but a straight A student, that should be celebrated, that should be uplifted. That's the kind of stuff we need. We need straight A's, we need athletes, we need carpenters, we need cooks, we need mechanics, we need AIs, we need reporters, we need all of that stuff. You know, that's great news, Nick. I appreciate it. And that's how we're going to end this program today. With a young person who got straight A's. That's what we need to do. You know, follow the rules, do the work, get smart, get rich, be a CEO, be a tycoon, whatever it may be, you know what I mean? You know, no, I'm going, there's supposed to be a birthday party for Chicago today in my neighborhood, and that's where I'm going. I don't know if they're going to have it because it's raining, but it's going to be here. I'm going to pass it by. I'll show you guys here, right? Now, it's supposed to be a birthday party here for the city. The city was born in 1834, I believe. We're going to see if they're having it here, right? I'm going to pass it by over here, right? It's over here by our Lutheran church. I'm going to see how many people are over here, right? Now, I'll go around. I'll show you guys, right? It's right there. The party's right over here. I'll show you guys, right? Oh man, I gotta stop next time. That was a bad one there. I almost got into an accident there. That was not good. That was my fault there. I didn't stop. Whatever. Life goes on, right? Luckily, I didn't get into a car accident. I was thinking about something else. I wasn't concentrating on driving there. That was bad. I'll show you guys. There's a party here. Because this is the center of the city. It's a geographic center of the city. Right here on 31st and Henry. The center, right, of the whole Chicago. This is the center of it. And they're going to have a party here. Because March 4th, 1834, I believe, is the year that Chicago was incorporated. Means became a city or a town or whatever it became, right? Who knows, back then it was just a town maybe. It wasn't a city at that time. What? That was DuSable and all of them, right? There you go. See that there? So they're having a party right over here. So I'm at park somewhere here and partake, as they say, right? They're supposed to have food and all of that stuff. So we're going to come on. You see that? There's a bunch of stuff going on here. See that there? They're going to have a 10-gun salute and all of that stuff. The local VFW is going to be here and all of that, right? There you go. You got the school here blocking. You got the cops blocking. You see that there? So that's what they're doing tonight. So I'm going to park my car somewhere and then I'm going to come on over here, right? And I think I got a waterproof hat on or something. That's what I have, right? So that's what they're blocking good, right? The cops, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna come over and check out. The older woman is here. I don't really get along with her. I knew her. I actually helped get her elected. That was my fault. And then I had a falling out when we had some stuff go on in our when they tried to put a migrant thing in our ward. And that's when me and her had a falling out, and that was it. But hey, you know, your neighborhood's your neighborhood, and you gotta support your block. That's what I'm doing tonight, so that's why I'm cutting a little early. Thanks for tuning in, Nick. If something happens tonight, I might go out. I probably won't. We'll see, man. Look at that, man. You got an illegal plate there. You can't even see that license plate there. Pretty wild, ain't it? I never seen a license plate that disfigured. You see that there? You can't see that license plate. Pretty funny, right? You know, they do that on purpose, right? Man, you got California plates. You got all kinds of plates here, man. That trap house I was talking about earlier today is right down here, man. Right here. I got stuff going back 3-4 years on these guys, man. They were dumping stolen cars on this corner here, and I called them in. And then they used them to rob people. Yeah, right there. There's a trap house right there. Right there. And they were dumping stolen cars all on this corner once, and now I know where they were at. They were over there. All they were dump stolen cars right here. I got videos on that going back 3-4 years, right? I've been doing this for a little while. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. It's 5:55 p.m. I'm going to go celebrate Chicago's birthday. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see what's going on over there at that party and say hello to people, you know, and there might be people who don't like me there, and hopefully nothing bad happens. I might do some live feeding from there. So take it easy, everybody. Appreciate you guys. I probably won't, though. It's raining. If there's something that happens that's big, I might go out. But take it easy, everybody. It's 5:56 p.m. I believe it's March 4th, 2026. Have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate everybody. Happy birthday, Chicago. That's where I'm going right now.